Hi, this is Francisco Bujan from vitalcoaching.com. We are talking about personal power, waking up your power. And the topic for this video is start with a small step. This is a strategy that you can start applying straight away if you are engaging into a project and don't know where to start. Okay, very often, you might be there on the edge of starting something, starting on a journey or starting on a project, a business project, or calling somebody or doing something and you don't know where to start. And why don't you start? It's because you still don't have a full overview of what is going to happen. You don't have all the answers yet. And the key idea here is to take a little step forward. Sometimes it's just picking the phone and making just one phone call. Sometimes it is going somewhere, checking some resources. Sometimes it is visiting a website. Sometimes it is posting a question somewhere in the forum. It's a small step. And it doesn't mean that this step is going to be the full answer. It is just one step that brings you a little bit closer to your goal. It might be a tiny little bit closer, right? But take the analogy, maybe imagine that you are climbing a mountain, right? That you are about to go and climb this very high mountain. Maybe it's just trekking, right? How do you get there? It's one step after another, right? So with life, with projects, with goals that you have, it is the same. Very often you don't have a vision or an idea of the full project or how this is going to look like. But the moment you take one step forward, it brings you a little bit closer. It opens new vision. It inspires. It starts feeding the goal or the target you are focusing on. So this is a very important strategy or a very important new way of approaching life. And well, when I say new way, of course, this is not new at all. You might have been doing it before, and you might be applying that all the time. But if you feel that you are stuck, for instance, you have a project you want to focus on, try to see what happens if you just take one simple step forward. For instance, you have a project or an idea. What happens if you mention this idea to a friend, maybe who you think might be interested into that, or you have the idea of making a trip, you just go online and check for flights. Or if you are planning to have a birthday party somewhere with some friends, you just call a restaurant and check if they have space available. These kind of very simple steps sometimes open doors. And the only thing that resists from achieving those goals or those targets very often is the fact that you don't start taking a very simple step. Let's take another example. For instance, if you want to shift careers, imagine that you are working somewhere and you want to find another job or another profession or do something differently. Very often you don't take the decision to go ahead because you miss information. So what are you going to do? You are going to find out more about this specific profession or these specific studies. And what does it mean? It means that you have to call, you have to get information, you need extra information to have to make a sound decision. And another example, very often if you have different choices, right, different possibilities or different directions you can go into. Suppose that you want to go on holidays and you have the choice between going to an island in the Caribbean or taking a trek to Alaska, for instance. What are you going to do, or how are you going to choose? You are first going to gather information. In other terms, take small steps in one direction and take small steps in another direction and see which one fits better. Because every time you take a step forward, there is an emotional response that happens in you. It's either an excitement, it's a feeling, it's a set of impressions that you are going to use to make a sound decision on the long term. So if you don't know which direction to go, try taking a small step. One step at a time. A small step in one direction, and you come back and take another small step in another direction. You can use that as well for dating. For instance, if you right now are single and have a couple of options, for instance, if you're a woman and you have a couple of guys you really like, well, try to go on a simple, light date with one, and then you go on a light date with another one. And after having a short date with one and another date with another one, you will get, a set of impressions and feelings that you can use to make, a longer term decision. Okay, I hope this makes sense. Start with a small step. Take care and have a great day. Bye-bye.